Hello there, my name is Joseph Orozco, and today I'd like to discuss my professional life as being an aircraft mechanic. I've actually been in the industry for about 7 years now, and I like to think that I know what I'm talking about, even though some people might find that debatable, but here I am. And I'd like to share my experiences of being a mechanic with you. First, I'll start off this whole presentation with the very first step in my career, being at ABC, my first job, to my current career right now, my current position, and my current goal that I'm going for right now, and then where it all began. So to start it off, I did enroll in the ABC in 2017. I just got straight out of the military. I enrolled into the AFAB courses, and I only did 4 out of 5 of them. And the reason being I never finished was because I got hired at Northrop. The whole point of me taking these classes. So I figured, why am I going to keep doing this? So I started at Northrop Grumman in August of 2018, and I was a structures mechanic, entry level. And I've never worked on airplanes ever in my life before, so this was a totally different ball game for me. You could say a whole lot of trial and error, a whole lot of sink or swim. I mean, you can honestly say my whole theme song of that time was I Will Survive by Gloria Gaynor in 1978, because I will survive, hey, hey. And I mean, indeed, I did survive. I started becoming more confident, more competent in my work. My supervisors were giving me more packages, as we called it. And the people I met, the skills I learned from people below me, above me, it's a experience I'll never forget. But even with all that new skill and tribal knowledge that I learned, I felt like I was hitting a glass ceiling where I was at after the 4 years of being at the company. So I decided to look elsewhere. I applied for other jobs, which is my current job now. So currently, I work at the Boeing company up at Edwards Air Force Base, and I am a aircraft maintenance tech and flight test inspector. A very long job title, and it has a lot of responsibilities included. Pretty much I went from building jets to maintaining jets and making sure they're safe to fly. They go in the air, they come back, everyone on board hopefully is alive. And a lot of the experience I had in the manufacturing floor actually translated very well with what I'm doing now to a degree. I mean, the luxury of being on the floor was you had all the parts available and everything was accessible, while now everything's closed up. It's harder to get to these parts. And it was just a whole mess and a whole lot of figuring out how to get things out and put them and replace them. So a quote actually that I would like to share is from Steven Spielberg's Catch Me If You Can from 2002. No matter how much it's patched up, a plane is only as good as its last service. And I know necessarily the movie itself is not about airplanes, but the quote still stands. It's to show you to have pride in your work. It showed me to have pride in my work, because now the importance of making sure this airplane is safe to fly, it sticks with you. And from that, I wanted to continue my career in aerospace, but as more of an engineer on that side of the house. And the reason being is, with all the experience I gained and I'm going to continue to gain while I get to that goal, I feel like it'll make me a stronger engineer in the long run. It'll make me a lot more knowledgeable of how both sides, the working man and the desk jockey, works. But you can always say it all started though years ago. My whole passion started years ago, 21 years ago to be exact. I was 7 years old, and I'll give you a little excerpt of my personal life. So I was with my grandpa, and we were flying from Sacramento to Burbank. And 7-year-old me was terrified to get on the plane. My grandpa had to literally drag me to the gate, drag me into the jet, put me in my seat, buckled me up. Cool. Now we're about to take off, and I remember being petrified. I couldn't move a muscle. And he knew I was losing it, to say the least. So he told me, why don't you go, look outside the airplane, see what's down there. And so I look, and the feeling of fear just washed away. I looked over, and I remember the first thing I thought was, it looks like a little train set, like a little train village. And I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And everything was just amazing to me. My first time in the air, seeing all this, it really made me think like, this is pretty cool. So anyways, we land, my mom picks us up, and I just wouldn't stop talking about the whole experience. And from Mira Nair's Amelia 2009 film, The Sky is the Limit, you'll never have the same experience. And though it's always true, you'll never have the same experience twice, and that was mainly for me, I'll never get that experience again. Being on that plane with my grandfather, seeing the world from above, I'll never have that. So it sparked that interest in me wanting to be an airline pilot, actually. But later in life, I will find out that I am colorblind, so that whole idea just got shot down. But I changed the goal's direction, and I decided I want to work with aircraft. And here I am today, fulfilling that goal. So, in summary of all this, I started with the very first point in my career, how my education at ABC and my first job got me to where I'm currently at Boeing as a AMT, and where I want to propel that career later in life. And it all started from a passion from a 7-year-old boy. And though I know I can't comprise my entire experience in just such a short introduction, I wanted to share this with you, and I wanted to share my personal professional life with you. And though I know others find trouble trying to find what they're passionate about, me, I found it. I am extremely grateful that I found what I love, and I'm doing what I love. And I kept a promise to a little boy all these years ago, and I think that's probably the most satisfaction I'll ever get in my life. And I'm Joseph Orozco, and I'm an aircraft mechanic. Thank you.